right on 101 in San Francisco. Traffic moving again. We had only the left lane open when this four-car collision happened at just past 3rd Street on northbound 101. Still not completely wrapped up, but they're just about done with this one. And then once you get around it,
what is going on?
Right past the 280 interchange on northbound 101, crawling all the way out to the lower deck of the Bay Bridge. And it's going to get even more crowded when the Giants game lets out. They're in the bottom of the 7th right now, and we've got no stalls or crashes on the Bay Bridge. Light traffic on the Golden Gate Bridge. Still dealing with delays if your destination is the East Shore Freeway. Getting into Pinole, this is a challenge. Eastbound 80, a crash past Pinole Valley Road is still blocking the right lane, and I can see it is.
All right, let's get a little bit of air in here. It's a crispy one today. It is a crispy one, ladies and gentlemen.
On the traffic leader, KCBS.
It is a crispy one.
Take a look at weather. It's hot today. Temperatures already breaking into the lower 90s in the warmest inland areas. Close to 80 by the bay, upper 60s at the coast. Under sunny skies, overnight lows tonight will be around 60. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on KCBS.
Hey, Daniel.
Wednesday, June 10th, 2026. Coming up, I'm Holly Kwong, San Francisco's schools chief on the hot seat on Capitol Hill.
At what age do you think students should be exposed to drag queen story hour?
Firefighters across the South Bay practice their wildland firefighting skills behind the scenes with what they're getting done without any actual flames.
And a lawsuit has been filed against the Trump administration over the ICE facility set to be built in the South Bay. I'm Rebecca Goodion. ABC News covers the world next.
Ding.
When you need to know.
Ding.
KCBS AM, KFRC FM, and HD1. San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, and the Beach Station. 3 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson.
Man, this thing is bouncing all over. Hold on a
Attacking
minute.
Iran again, announced less than half an hour ago. President Trump this morning said the U.S. would attack by air again, and
Let me
cited
fix this
Iran's
thing.
shooting down a U.S. helicopter, which he already ordered retaliation attacks last night.
I've got
And saying the
a,
U.S. would attack again tonight.
I've got a cooler on it.
Attacking them very hard. Yeah, well, we saw the helicopter. I guess we have the right to do that.
The U.S. Military Central Command in Florida announcing the air attacks are in response to Iran's unwarranted and continued aggression. From CENTCOM earlier at MacDill Air Force Base.
Who knows how the hell to set up this thing? Let's see, I'm trying not to smudge the lens like a potato. Let's see how we're gonna hook that on. Let's see, is that gonna work? Yeah, that'll work. Take a little bit of logistics to rig this for heat so it's not bouncing all over the place. There we go. Let's see. Half a second. Let's get it off of that. How you doing, Julie? What's going on? Pardon me, I'm just working to set this thing up. Okay, let's see how that's going to work out. I'm running a cooler and the phone. So it's always, as we start the heat season, it's always a little bit of a challenge. Because I didn't have this phone last year. I had the S10 Plus. So this is a bit of a challenge. So it's about 90 degrees. So we're gonna grab a nice, the hottest coffee we can get. Because one of the things I learned over years dealing with the heat is you gotta follow the way the Spanish do it. The hottest days, they drink the hottest beverages. And for some reason or another, it removes all of the heat from your system. This is where we have difficulty finding a little bit of shade here. Everybody takes the good shit. Let's see what we see if we can get that phone into the shade. And I will be back in a minute, everybody. I need to get a cup of coffee. I think we made it in. Yeah, nice to see you, Julie. Killer Tomahawk, you're not kidding me. I can't believe it, guys. I got the video coming up tomorrow. Guy parking disabled. what the guy's talking about. Something about 100-meter. Somebody in his own home country broke the record or something. I don't know. 10.09. I think that the 100 meters has been sub 10 seconds for decades now. Shit, Carl Lewis, I think, smashed that. Believe so, Trixie, everybody. Nice to see everybody. Yeah, the tomahawk was unbelievable. That I ate about 20% of that thing. I still have 80% of that in the refrigerator. I can't believe they gave me a whole damn tomahawk. It was so nice yesterday. I got the full video. It'll be coming up tomorrow. Had a good time. It was nice to give the truck a workout yesterday. About a 120-mile round trip, which was good. Let me fix this baby up. Get that there. I'm running the cooler on the phone today. So hopefully that's going to do the job here. Trying to keep the cooler cinched up on it where possible. When I get flipped around, it'll be easier because I can snatch it at the top. It's a crispy one today up here. It's going to be hotter tomorrow still. It's like whenever it closes in on my birthday is always hotter than hell. Just asked my mother about delivering a kid when it's hot as hell. All right, girlfriend, are we being pimped or what are we doing today? I don't know if you can hear the fan. It's always a struggle to get the proper holder for it without carrying around like looks like a whole damn field production kit. So I'm glad to be with you today. Yeah, I didn't get home till later last night. So there weren't any sense in going live that late. I don't know what the hell is rolling around the back here. This shit wagon needs a real clean out. A real clean out. Let's seek out some shade here. Just hang out a bit. It is a crispy one. From 11 o'clock till 9 o'clock tomorrow, we're supposed to have heavy winds come in off the desert, so that really sets off the chance of fires. That hot air just drops the humidity down to like 20%. And everything just gets real crackly. Like crackling rose. Yep, thumbs up or appreciate. Nice to see you, Trixie. And then who else we got in here? Naomi, how you doing, babe? Joni Portwood, how are you? We got Julie, Supermom Julie, Tomahawk Fake, Steak Fest. That's what you call a steak. I'll tell you one thing. When the boss does something, he does it right. He does it right. So I'll probably slice some of that stuff up later and put it onto a roll and enjoy that. What's going on in Kentucky, Johnny? Prism, oh yeah, 12 cans, that's good. That shit's good value, let me tell you. I was real happy when Bill Cody sent that to me. Real happy. I don't know what the hell we have up here. Some kind of bullshit going up with street work or something. Nobody better be the hell in my spot. Oh, that breeze feels good anyway. But that's going to be a hot wind tonight that comes through. You've never experienced those hot desert winds. They can be something. Let's see, where's the pole? Where's the pole? Where's the beautiful pole? Alright, there we go. Alright, let's flip this around. We're gonna move this. What's up, Green? How you doing? Let me get that in position. All right, there we go. That should be better. Let's flip that on me. Oh man, this thing is really hard. Might be the best we can do right there. All right. So we got Green. Green Now Trading Company. There we go. Hopefully that's going to be all right. Man, what a bummer. I hate this stuff. I like summer, but I don't like all this ghee going around with all this crap. Well, Jerry, how you doing? I'll tell you what, Green. I've been around since 1979. I've been around since 1958, but I started actively following markets in 1979. And I can tell you this, man, there's never anything new under the sun. Now, why would I say that? For one very good reason, because human nature never changes. People still get greedy. People still get fearful. They get overly optimistic, they get overly pessimistic. And that's why the pendulum never really stays in one position. How you doing, Scotty? What's going on? Down in the bottle, that's right. Well, wherever the hell it's found. So, You know, we come to a point where we have 4 or 5 companies that are absolutely hell-bent on not being left behind in the AI race. They're so fearful of missing out, FOMO, that they've rushed headlong $1 trillion in this baby. Now they're just basically consuming all of the capital that they saved. They're starting to destroy the shareholder equity by selling more shares into the market instead of buying them back, which they do, for something that's never going to work out in the first place. And that's the bottom line. A year ago, the cost of the tokens was $30 per 1 million tokens. Now it's like $1.50. And current AI can do 95% of what the average person or company wants. Do a balance sheet, do a spreadsheet, do an Excel sheet, write a letter, check inventory. 5% of the market needs more advanced power. Back in 1970s and early 1980s, there was a company called Cray, C-R-A-Y. It was the Cray supercomputer. And this thing cost like $15 million, which is like probably, I don't know, $80 million today. NASA could afford it. The Pentagon had one. We're talking a lot of money. But while all that was going on with that supercomputer being built and everybody thought everything would need supercomputers, Microsoft, IBM came out with the desktop computer. It was over for the supercomputer. Over. Digital Equipment Corporation, gone. IBM ThinkPads, gone. Everything was gone. We have the same thing now. We have all these companies rushing $1 trillion, that's 1,000 billions, into a shithole. Into an absolute rat hole. They're rushing in to serve 5% of the market. Well, there was an old saying by William Wrigley of Wrigley Chewing Gum, that if you want to live with the masses, you cater to the classes. And if you want to live with the classes, you cater to the masses. What these 5 companies have done, tragically, is cater to the classes. And each one of them is so afraid to miss out. Down 7%. You know why they're down 7%? I'm going to tell you why they're down 7%. Oracle was never in the position of Microsoft, Meta Corporation, Google Corporation, Amazon. They didn't have hundreds of billions of dollars laying around. They had debt to the tune of like $180 billion before all this AI stuff comes along, before all that. Now their software as a service model is crumbling. Their seat licenses, whatever they're doing. And number 2, they don't have enough money to play with the big boys in the AI game. So what do they do today? They say we're gonna sell more shares into the market now, so that the pie gets cut in smaller pieces for all of you. Years they spent money buying in the shares, reducing the number of shares outstanding, so the pie would be progressively cut into bigger pieces. All you had to do was hold your stock and it would become more valuable as the pie got bigger because the number of slices got smaller. Now they're reversing that. Lots of them are reversing it. Supermicro did it today. The smartest thing I ever heard on Wall Street: when everybody thinks alike, nobody thinks very much. And that's exactly the situation. I'm not saying we're not going to go higher here. I'm saying the bubble's starting to look a little fragile right now. Pie, apple, yeah, there you go. Good taste in that apple pie. $1 trillion is a lot of money. A lot of money. And if you notice something else today too, Green, while the stock market was being routed today, normally in years gone by, everybody would have run to the U.S. Treasury market. They didn't run to it today. Interest rates were higher at the end of the day when they were at the beginning. Why? Because the United States faces a massive funding wall. They need shitloads of money. At the same time, these goofy AI companies are rushing out to borrow money too. Well, where the money rotates here. Well, if you're smart, it rotates into super short-term 30, 60, 90-day T-bills. Because right now, 30, 60, 90-day T-bill rates are above the Fed funds rate, which means the Fed can't cut interest rates. The market's sending a signal, no, no, no. Eventually, when everything unwinds, you'll see silver and gold start to go up again. Why? Because traditionally they've been a 0.95% correlation with the United States total debt. In other words, the United States total debt goes up, the price of gold tracks up with it, with almost being handcuffed together, those two. I think the odds rather than that they're going to raise rates. You have here a tale of two economies. You have the Glamour 7. You have the S&P 500. Out of that, there's 7 stocks that have totally skewed the index. They've totally made you think that the S&P is going up this year. For the 493, it's barely budging that aren't the Glam 7. The worst thing for them would be to have interest rates go up. But who gets priority at the trough? Who gets to feed first? The United States government gets to feed first. So if you have to eat the bird, you got to eat the bird. That's it. There's no after you, Gaston. No after you, Alphonse. I don't know if it's good or not, but one thing I do is I open my mouth. And the other thing I do, Green, is I don't equivocate. I don't, my stuff I leave on the record here. But everybody will always have a crystal clear idea of what my beliefs are. Crystal clear. And as Ronnie will tell you, and the other moderators, these are just my opinions, not financial advice. But one thing they will tell you over the years is if I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. That's what makes somebody credible. Let's face it, even a stopped clock on the wall is right twice a day. Since you're a private person. Meaning what, Joni? Like registering in the duty of the CIA or what? Oh, I'm wrong. I didn't like Bitcoin at $60,000. It went all the way up to $128,000 or so. I still didn't like Bitcoin. Now it's at what, 60,000 or whatever. I just didn't like the concept of it. You have to have a big core of people that are participating to keep that publicity swirling, to keep that going up. And right now, the publicity is dead. This is, Joni, this is registered as a commercial vehicle. These are typically used by solo electricians, solo plumbers to do their business. I run a handyman business. I'm allowed to register this as a commercial vehicle, which means I can park at any yellow spot around town or around anywhere without getting ticketed or anything else. So it's if that's what you mean. You look at, I don't know if you saw today, Green Super Micro. That's the company that they caught the owner illegally sending chips to China. The Federal Trade Commission, the Customs caught the owner boxing up chips that should not have gone for export. See, a lot of the U.S. depends on you doing the right thing. And when it comes to money, one of the things that you guys have learned from me is doing the wrong thing is baked into human nature. Doing the right thing is extraordinary. I think run the price up and overnight charge. You probably know more about it than I do. I'm not sure. I'm just saying that you will agree with me, Green, that you have to have a tremendous amount of public interest to push something up. I showed you magazine covers from 2005. Time magazine, Fortune magazine, and Money magazine. 3 magazines, same month, coming out with special editions that were gaga about real estate. Real estate's your next best choice. And what happened? The property I bought went from $550,000 to $169,000. Then, when nobody was interested, everybody was like, it's going to go to China, it's never going to stop dropping. People are telling me I'm crazy, you're a fool. It's not because I was smart, it's because I needed a fucking place to stay. So I got the exact month of the low of May of 2020, May of 2011. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, knuckleheads on PBS were talking about AI. I can show you people talking about it from 1987 on Stanford University's lecture series back then for internal use and training. They're talking about AI. But look at this. It took, what did it take? It took 50 years to build that up into a bubble. 50 years of progressively more and more articles being written, more and more bullshit being spun, more and more expectations about what it's going to be able to do. And at the end of the day, guess what happened? AI has destroyed the concept of knowledge. Yeah, colleges are a joke too. AI is so polluting the database now. When you go to do an inquiry on AI, there's a good chance you'll get a wrong answer. So what does that do? That forces people to go back and verify. I told you I was asking to build some charts for me, and then at the end of it, it says, oh, I just hallucinated this data just to fill in the narrative that you were creating. What the hell, dude? So what you're saying is you made it up? Yeah, it's made up. What happens to efficiency when you have to now add another loop of verifying? Instead of going forward, technology takes you backwards a step. All these companies that plugged in this AI into their enterprise software now have a spaghetti mess of hallucinating bullshit that comes out of their systems. The technology guys came and sold them the systems. Now the technology guys come back and say, we can help you fix this system. Meanwhile, every day, the data becomes more and more corrupted, more and more hallucinations, more and more things that are wrong. It's called model collapse. And it's going to affect everything. Yeah, I don't know about being a streamer. Too many people I've known have gotten into social media to make money. And it's a competitive landscape, and it's really bad right now. Because all this fake AI stuff, these people sit down and spend 5 minutes to make a video, it's all swamping the YouTube algorithm now. So real content creators are being demoted right now. As crazy as that sounds, because they don't have the bots going around buying views that are pumping up the view count. So this is perhaps the worst time in history to get into. Everybody's views are down dramatically. It's probably the worst time to get in. But then again, that might be the greatest opportunity, because YouTube is working like crazy to try to straighten it out. They've demonetized. Well, I'm not, that's above my pay grade. The U.S. just cut $20 billion of checks for refunding tariff money. That whole exercise in tariff was just a colossal waste of time, and now it leaves the U.S. budget deficit in worse shape than it was when it even began. When you take in $3 trillion and you spend $5 trillion, that $2 trillion that you didn't get through proper taxation on productive activity, that's just a call on future generations that have to make good on that. You don't have a $40 trillion hole to dig out of and then throw your grandchildren a shovel and say, get digging. They'll never have the standard of living that we had. It peaked out in 1966. Fred. You've hit the philosopher's conundrum. That's why they always called economics the dreary science, because there was rarely any good news. But you got to face facts. Right? Would we be having this conversation in the mid-60s? Probably not. We might be talking about riots in 1968 in Baltimore City and the ghettos and all that, but we wouldn't be talking about our standard of living. People would be guilting us because people are successful. They would be guilting you into funding the Great Society. Before 1933, there was no unemployment insurance. There were no food stamps. There was no Section 8 housing. No agricultural subsidies. No Medicare, no Medi-Cal. No pension benefit guarantee board. Nothing. Now look at what we have today. Now we have people that believe that the federal government's responsible for your success and your livelihood in life. What a turnaround in less than 100 years. From nothing to everything. Well, I'm sorry, economics doesn't work that way. You can only carry so much dead wood. And then the engine stalls out going up the grade. And it starts going backwards. And then it's out of control. We've reached the limits of what finance can do in debt financing. We've gone where no country's ever gone before. And when you take that $2 trillion you didn't earn through taxation and you spend that, you're pushing up the price unnaturally on everybody else in the economy that has to compete for food, for shelter, clothing. Because that $2 trillion is funny money. It didn't come from a natural economic activity. It came from unnatural spending of what you borrowed. Right now, not really. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really much of a trader. I do little spots in and out here and there, make the money and run. But you're welcome to talk about one, it's fine. I just want people to know when they talk about inflation and this, that, and the other thing. There's people spending money that, economically speaking, they should not have. That's not from a moral perspective, that's just from a raw, blind capitalism perspective. Oh, hell, there's Gordon Ramsay, the pensioner. People don't see that because this stuff goes on behind the scenes, this incessant borrowing. Well, it's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We got NHL too. We got the Golden Knights and the Hurricanes tied up 2 games apiece. It's okay. Hey, Scottish. Jesse's all right. That's Gordon Ramsay. You know, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. And that's about the only way that a lot of these companies are going to even be able to survive. Canadian team. Yeah, 93. Well, the Canadians gave a good show this year. Thumbs up, appreciate it, guys. I got a lot of people out there that are slowly banging up that thumbs up, and I appreciate it. We have open conversation here, but we do it in the spirit of learning from each other and being a little bit humble. Here, the Oracle down the Oracle some spook other areas down that big some more. See. This. Do you ever watch professional poker, Green? How you doing, Deja Vu? Anybody ever seen poker? Tournament poker? Yeah, I can't think what Oracle's going to do tomorrow. The president could come out and say that we have signed an agreement, it's a treaty. You'll see the market up 1,000 points, but that does nothing to affect. That does nothing to affect the AI thing. The point is, Green, you've probably watched on TV. Those guys, once in a while, and women, they'll take their chips and they'll go all in. That's what Larry Ellison of Oracle Corporation is doing right now. He's taking a bad idea, and he's taking a bad idea and backing it up to the hilt with the company. Meanwhile, he lent $40 billion to his goofy son to buy Warner Brothers. This guy is so leveraged. It's frightening. Any little downturn in revenue is going to have a super dramatic effect. And let's just say today, if you saw Oracle's report, the seat licensing stuff is going down. The worst is Accenture. I'll tell you what, Green, if you look at a chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average since 1970, and you look at where we are today, you're going to see this enormous parabolic You know what happens on the other side of a parabola? Parabolas come because psychology gets carried away. We saw that in the month of March, April. Everybody was running every day, every tiny pullback they're rushing, and they might do it tomorrow. He could very well be. Who am I to say? But I'll tell you what, Green. What independent agency is making the decision about Larry Ellison right now? Every day they're weighing Oracle Corporation. I don't know. I'll be 68 in a couple weeks. Yeah, my disconnect is I never cared about money stuff. It was like you can know stuff, and then the money aspect just doesn't have any appeal to you. You don't really care about it. I care more about the philosophical aspects of it. But I'll tell you this, Green, every day the market's weighing in on Oracle, Accenture Corporation, Salesforce, Adobe. Some of these things are down 60% off their peak now. Because something big changed, the whole model flipped. There's a new sheriff in town. Do you think your baby boomer? I'm not sure if they were naive, Fred. I don't think anybody conspired. I think in a democracy where you need to get elected, that's the fatal flaw in the whole thing. You can't be elected and tell people I'm going to raise your taxes. But you can borrow money on the side. And everybody's happy. That was the trap of Keynesian economics. Borrow now, pay later. Nobody ever paid. Us boomers never sat down and said, gee, maybe we better raise our taxes and start filling in this hole. We just said, you know, the economy always moves forward. Let these kids figure it out. In other words, throw them a shovel and tell them to get digging. I'm not sure if it was why do you think the baby boomers are the smartest generation? The baby boomers, you know, were recipients of outright pure luck. During the Depression, they didn't have a dollar to spend. They could have bought the world, but they didn't have a pot to piss in. World War II comes along. Now they've got a shitload of money and nothing to buy. So you build up this tremendous savings. It wasn't from boomers. It was from the greatest generation. And then when the war is over and Europe is wrecked and Asia is wrecked, there's only one place that's standing in the world that can produce shit, and that's the United States of America. All that money hits that, inflation roars, and we're off in the greatest prosperity in the history of the world until 1966. Was that smart? I call it lucky. It's things that are unlikely to come together again. Well, they probably will in the future. But they worried about all these guys coming home from World War II. Would there be another depression? And actually what happened is the manufacturing base expanded like crazy. It cut over to consumer goods. Anybody could get a job that wanted one. Now what is a factory floor? It's all just automated robotics. 1/10 of the people that used to be there. You have to look green at the educational system of America. Back in February, the report came out that since they've been keeping statistics on the education of high school graduates. This was the worst that was ever recorded. Professors at Stanford University and UC Berkeley, two of the most dynamic and innovative universities in the world, are complaining that students can't even read and write. These are top echelon students. How can you build a future on that? Hey, Desert, and what should have happened? A national crisis like Sputnik in 1957? When the Russians launched Sputnik, we should have had a massive American emergency summit. All you heard was silence. Who really cares about the kids today? Oracle down to, I'm not sure, Green. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. After hours tends to be very thin in Asia and stuff, so I don't know. The thing is, China's in the same boat that we are. They now have corrupted AI that's moved into all their databases. They have all these province loans, government loans, and all this shit that's crappy. Yeah, I don't put much stock in futures trading, but you know, you might do well. It's not because there aren't enough goods that their inflation is up. It's because there's too much funny money running around. Just like here. People say, Rosie, why in the hell should I pay $2,000 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment here in Florida or whatever? Well, you shouldn't have to. But when you have a federal government that can borrow 40% of the annual budget and use that, how are you going to compete with that? Section 8 housing, here you go. Here's your vouchers. Immigrants, here you go. Here's your vouchers. You can't compete with that. Food markets, you're elbow to elbow with people with food stamps, and it's got nothing to do whether it should have them or not, because people need to eat. But that's non-productive money that purchased that. Nobody produced anything that resulted in the taxes that could be gathered to give people. I know I was only on that. I'll just take it one step. I don't really look ahead to it. I said all I needed to say last week. And then I was told not to put up the video that I was going to put up next because people would not be prepared to hear what they were going to hear. So I didn't put it up. I don't need the ego boost of, you know, being a swami. Sometimes you need to just keep your mouth shut. So against my better nature, I kept my mouth shut. Yeah, I mean, what do you get? Nobody's going to move any money based on it. It's always after the fact. Well, yeah, I guess I probably got a little greedy or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's not my business. But I put the picture together. I show people this is how this is working out compared to the 1870s and 80s with the railroad boom. The growth of, you know, the telecom boom. The Nifty 50, the .com boom, the real estate boom. This is no different, except it's 2.5 times bigger in scale. Everybody's going to be affected. I had people that said, what do I care about? I'm not involved with Wall Street. Oh yeah, you are? People said that in 1929, 1930. Oh, what do I care if it crashes? Then their banks started to fail. September of 1931. My grandmother was on lunch break, and somebody came running into her place and said, May, that was her name, May, there's a run on the bank. My grandmother couldn't just head out, had to wait till her lunch hour. Heads down the street, Walbrook in the middle of Baltimore City. Hustling up the street as fast as she can to Walbrook Savings. Halfway there, there's a guy coming the other way. She recognized it. The guy's like, don't even bother. They already closed their doors. It's gone. Now that wouldn't happen today because of FDIC insurance, but they would print money to pay you off. And it's effectively the same thing. Your purchasing power would be zero. See, the worst thing that the boomer generation did was shield themselves from economic reality. We thought we could defy the laws of economics and just borrow our way to a permanent prosperity. No, somebody's got to pay the bill. I'm not going to be around to pay it, but I can tell you what, there's going to be a lot of pissed off young people on the streets. You're going to see a tremendous resurgence of communism, socialism. It's going to make the George Floyd stuff look like a Sunday school picnic. And you can mark my words on that one. You guys don't even remember Occupy Wall Street. Dave Brett was going on. You guys don't even remember Occupy Wall Street after the crash of 2008. They set up outside of banks and cities, major protests that went for weeks. It's nice to see Scottish today. I'm just a realist. I understand human nature. That's what killed AI, was human nature. They never imagined that people would turn around and game AI to create false information, false clicks and views, just to push their own ranking up in the search to make money. Once a certain amount of made up fake shit was in there, then the system just reproduced that. And every second of every day, millions more hallucinated fake shit enters the public sphere. To the point, in a couple years, probably by 2030, it'll be totally useless. It'll be a wasteland. You'll have to verify everything with paper and pencil and books. Have private databases, the Book of Knowledge, the World Book Encyclopedia. You remember that, Brett? So yeah, I wrote a book. I'm currently shopping agents, hoping somebody will take it on. If not, it'll be self-published this summer. But at the last chapter, I just out and apologized. I said, on behalf of people of my generation, I apologize. Because what we had in terms of good, in terms of cruises, in terms of nail salons, restaurants, Uber Eats, luxury cars, luxury trucks, Vegas flings, $800 bottles of champagne, Disneyland, amusement parks, that's going to be the mirror opposite for what's coming up. They'll have to deal with the consequences of having none of that. You know, the capitalism's not designed to be off the charts in terms of wealth. It wasn't designed to that you're supposed to borrow against the future. Hey, doctor, the banks and other were mostly going to use a lot of bailout to get the higher up bonuses. Twice a day, Chad gave me incorrect dates, gave me the wrong. Yeah. So what does that actually mean? How you doing, doctor? How you doing? Who's that? Deb? Hi, Deb. What does that mean? What was supposed to make things more efficient, AI, actually pushes you back. That you can't trust anymore. You don't know if what you're being told is even true or not. Maybe a pharmaceutical factory line gets the wrong information. And somebody on the line, it's okay, we don't have to verify. Everybody knows that. No, they didn't know that. And they put this wrong shit into the formulary. Or like it happened at Black & Decker, Stanley Black & Decker did. AI just suddenly kicked out an order for $6 billion of tools. Wasn't that no order for $6 billion? The freaking system hallucinated the order. Nobody verified it. The factories gear up full production, then they got $6 billion of tools that nobody ordered. And they have to take a huge loss just to get rid of the shit. This is what happens when you use hallucinated data. So what does that mean? You got to verify everything. Now you got to bring humans back into the knowledge equation. Oh, I thought we got rid of people. We didn't need that. You need it now. So when Accenture Corporation, one of the biggest consulting firms in the world, tells you it has 300,000 software engineers in India working, all they're doing is reading lines of code to try to pick out what's errors. And they're scrubbers. They work with so many companies that their databases are so fucked up right now that they dare not use them until they send it to India and have all these people sit line by line. Well, the Indian people get tired of checking it, so they throw it into an AI. And you get more hallucinated shit. And data center, they want, no, these data centers, no. Too late. I'm not even going to get into data. That's too complicated. I just wanted you to see I wanted you to hear the tragedy of misinformation. If you saw my thing about AI a couple weeks ago, I proved to you from 2010 until today, the 493 companies that aren't the Glam 7 like Microsoft and Apple and Google, the big 7, the other 493 went from making 12-13% on investment capital in 2010 to 7% today. Technology was supposed to help companies become more efficient and more profitable. In fact, it's had the exact opposite effect. 800 stocks, 800 companies in the Russell 2000 are underwater now. They're not even they're losing money every day they open their doors. But people don't know that because the averages are being pulled up by 7 companies. They're not seeing the real damage that's occurring in the economy. Yeah, please hit the like button. It's nice to see Scottish Saren today. It's always an honor to have her in the chats. She's a smart big gal. She's got a brain. She knows what's going on in the world. So right now there's kind of an unease in the world. There's just a feeling that something is a little off right now. Well, I'm not, but my point was, since 2010, doctor, and I proved I'm the first person that ever statistically ever proved it on a chart, that technology's done nothing to enhance the profitability of the major companies, the major backbone companies of American enterprise. Now the higher interest rates go, this is why President Trump's always beating, we got to have rate cuts, we got to have rate cuts. And Scott Bessent, I know we got to have rate cuts. They can't cut the rate. They can't control the 10-year interest rate. Now you have all these companies that borrowed at 3% are now going to have to go face a market that demands 6 and 7%. Which is going to push even more of them to the point they're just burning. They're not making money, they're losing money. Yeah, something is off. I know, sure as hell no Scottish knows it. She's smarter than a whip. It's not natural for an economy to deliver food to people's homes that's cooked. It's not natural that people buy pickup trucks that never see a load of anything in the back of the truck. It's not natural to have nail salons and restaurants. Oh, it's a crispy one today. I don't know, Grant. I'm not sure what you're doing, bro. Right now, we're close to the point where the emperor is going to be exposed as not having any clothes. That's what we're close to here. It's going to be the sudden realization amongst everybody that they're not going to make money out of AI. It's going to be a catastrophic money drain that'll be basically useless anyway because it's all infected with slop. You know, when I ask to do a thumbnail or something, and it gives me a thumbnail of Muslim extremist terrorists on the back of a Toyota pickup truck with a 88 caliber machine gun mounted on the back, something's wrong. You say, like, where in the hell did you get this from? Oh yeah, I don't know. I just hallucinated. Really, dude? And I'm going to take you into the big CEO, the chairman's office tomorrow, and we're going to do a presentation. I'm going to let you just run it. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's probably more than that, Dr. Frankenstein. Yeah, anything can be made up now and put on. All you have to do is verbally feed it into a video generator. You just voice it into it, it'll create the scene, and that's it. That's it. So what that does is start shaping people's opinions. Reinforces narratives, reinforces prejudices. Pretty dangerous stuff. So I've done the best I can to prepare people for what's ahead within the bounds of what I feel is right to talk about. Because the other stuff, no way, no how, people would be able to accept it. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that stuff, Dr. Frankenstein. It's now ChatGPT, Sam Altman's coming at, the Chinese are deep faking about, putting fake commentary up about the problems of data centers and the risks of building data centers, and they're feeding the flames of anti-data centers. See, this guy just makes up bullshit. Because he's looking for somebody that he can blame when the bottom falls out of his shitty initial public offering. When people start lining up scapegoats, yeah, I start to worry. Well, it's one of those things, Scott, is there, where, normally people, if it doesn't affect them, they're not going to have a lot of interest. But this is going to be like a big vortex that starts spinning. And over time, more and more people will gravitate and want to understand what the hell is going on. Because the hard part is not understanding it. The hard part is putting it into examples and words that people can understand and say, oh yeah, I get it now. Then they look themselves and they see, so that's what's going on. Yes, and now, Dr. Frankenstein, unfortunately, we're so far down the road now that there's no, the capital destruction, the game has to continue. There's no way Goldman Sachs knows it's bullshit. But they're going to make their 2% on the deal. Their kosher 2% on all these AI deals. And they won't have it. It'll be off of their hands. Well, when I found out that, like Gemini, which is on the side of your search bar for Google, when I found out that that had truth and safety committees that develop the guidelines of what you see when that answers your question. You think you're getting a factual answer, you're not. You're getting something that's couched in terms of wanting to present to you an idea that's not going to be disturbing. It's going to be conformist. It's not going to have any sharp corners on it. It's going to be touchy-feely. And then I said, where do these truth and safety committees operate out of? And who's the makeup of them? Well, they're located in San Francisco, Seattle, and Austin, Texas. And who sits on these committees? Psychologists, sociologists, behavioralists. And I said, well, mostly atheists, right? They said, yes, of course. I said, well, where does God fit in this scheme of things? And it answers back, God is now just a niche belief. Now, mind you, Western civilization was founded on this niche belief. I'm thinking to myself, good Lord. It was that day, Dr. Frankenstein, that I just, if I could have committed myself to the sanitarium on that day, I would have. On that day, I knew for a fact, and pardon my language, I knew on that day that society was fucked. I know. You ask yourself, you go to chat, you go to AI, Gemini, you ask him, what do your truth and safety guardrails say about God? It's just a niche belief. Niche. I wonder if he got the memo upstairs. Don't ever trust a psychologist. Remember, a psychiatrist had to go to medical school, do an internship, 2 years of residency and a fellowship. Any kook can hang up a shingle and call themselves a psychotherapist or a psychologist. When you think to yourself, isn't it amazing in the time of Charles Dickens, child labor, early childhood deaths were rampant, that there were no psychologists. During the Middle Ages and the Dark Ages, when a mother would bury 5 of her 7 children, there were no psychologists. Nobody ever sent for Freud. And look at what we allowed this voodoo so-called social science to do to our society. This incessant focus on self as the center of the universe. Wrong. This is why I felt I had to write the book that I wrote, to bring this statistical evidence to light. It's worse than that, Dr. Frankenstein. You know what it is? You know what it is? What it really is, and this might freak you out, it's a massive First Commandment violation. It's self-adoration at an extreme. When you can be like Michelle Elman and write a book, The Joy of Selfishness, The Joy of Being Selfish. You wonder why people are so mentally screwed these days? People don't even know. Have no concept of the great hoodwink that's been performed on them. Voodoo science. You want to know why so many people are miserable today? It's got nothing to do with how complex society is. Bullshit. When a Viking horde came through and raided your village and raped the women and beheaded the kids and dragged off the men to slavery, burned down the churches and shit, they didn't rush in with the psychotherapists and psychologists. They had only one place to turn to. Somehow, Western civilization grew and became glorious. And then one day in Vienna, in the Belle Epoque era of the 1870s and 1880s, a couple bored atheists get together and start to contemplate human nature. And the pervert Sigmund Freud is born. He was a pervert. Him and his atheist buddies sat together in a parlor room in Vienna in a rich area with time on their hands, nothing to do, so started to engage in navel gazing. And their starting premise was there is no God. Now what do we do? Oh, that breeze is good, but it's going to be a hot breeze tonight. It's a fascinating story, but again, when people go to take a psychology course, it's the roots of psychology are never examined. You start with William James, and that's where it begins in 1878 or whatever, William once. And they're off and running. When all they really need is to have somebody say that they matter in the world. Let's hit that thumbs up button, guys. I think we're gonna head up the road in a bit. It's a lot to think about. I did my homework a lot for 3.5 years. That wind's really going to be kicking tonight. What's going on, JT? Now we're so far down the line that it's, if you pardon the language, it's impossible for society to unfuck itself. It's too deep in. Mr. Hilton. Yeah, to be honest with you, JT, a lot of people don't even really care one way or the other. Well, remember, AI is learning off of you. You're feeding it. But a lot of the diet it's been fed is made up garbage. It's factually incorrect. If somebody does a YouTube video, and they're a corrupt person, their first idea is to make it as contentious as possible. So it gets people ripping along in the comment section. That boosts it up in the YouTube algorithm. And then they have their little bots that run around, that thumbs up it, leave fake generated comments below, push it further up the ranks. So that information gets treated as if it's factually correct. There's nobody to sit there and gateway and say, that's not true. You know, the Civil War didn't end in 1871, it ended in 1865. Well, you're wrong, I just saw it on a YouTube video. Really? Oh shit, maybe I'm wrong. What's going on, Mark? Yeah, but I know people care. I know that. Hey, Megan Fox, how are you, babe? Good to see you. I know people care. I got good people in here. But you have to understand the path that you've been led down the last 100 years. Yeah, it's nice to see you, honey. I was in Virginia at the beginning of February. It's nice to see you, Mark. What most people need today is to know that they matter in the world. And the only way you get that feeling of mattering is to matter to other people. Period. That's it. No drugs, no alcohol, no weed is ever going to fill that. You matter. I was in Springfield there. Come back, damn it. I'll be back. I got a second grandchild, so I'm sure next April I'll be back again. Not close, okay. Yeah, something like that, Dr. Frankenstein. Now it's good to isolate, seek out safe spaces, affirm your self-worth. Hey Steve, how you doing? Just getting a fresh cup of Danish. Always enjoy Oh, shit. Thank you, brother. God bless everyone in here. Thank you. How are you? I'm doing good, babe. I'm rolling along. Steve Fowler, the king of Chattanooga, Tennessee, in the chat. What's up, Steve? Thank you, man. You've been a great supporter of the channel. I know you enjoy the commentary. And shout out again to, shit, who gave me that stuff yesterday? Oh, Monday. Damn. Oh, Bob. I can't remember who the hell gave it to me. I appreciate your enthusiasm, yes. Believing in all conspiracies is exhausting. You know why people believe in conspiracies? Because it seems like such an unlikely combination that something could, what are our plans? That's it. It's such an unlikely combination of the way things came together. That people don't realize the slow, incipient way that evil works its way into the world. And the greatest way it works itself into the world is undermine the idea of truth. That's the weapon. That's the weapon that causes division. That's it. So young people today have a desperate need for truth. They're still good in intelligence, and Megan Fox is going to show me. Among other things. I think I can take this cooler off now. Let me see. Among other things. Come on, man. This damn button never works. 75%, 11 hours and 21 minutes. Okay, we can take that off now. I'll show you. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. Holy crap. That went right down, didn't it? Oh, shit. Megan Fox is like, I'll show you. Shit. She's like, I've known Megan Fox for, shit, I don't know, 10 years. Oh, that cooler is so nice. I gotta find a new one. It doesn't seem as cool as it used to be. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it is. We'll see how cool that gets. All right. iPad. Yes, you did. You're a doll. You are a doll. You did panel. I got to give you credits. Megan Fox was right there. Honey, what part of Virginia are you in? I can't remember. As Megan Fox said, Virginia is for lovers, Rosie. Come and try it out. Blazing. Oh, it's hot today. It's going to be 100 tomorrow here, Steve. We're going to be crispy critters. In the valley, baby. The Shenandoah Valley. Front Royal, Luray. All down there. Beautiful. You got Winchester, Blacksburg. Yes, I will. I will still support the A's. Yep, you better believe it. It was funny, the other night they got 13 runs and they lost 14-13. Like, holy shit. Appalachian Trail. Oh, nice. How's the humidity? It's going to be low here. It's going to be fire danger low, like 20%. Like if you don't water your tomatoes, they'll be crispy by morning. Yeah, I used to be on the Appalachian Trail. I love the Shenandoah Valley, the caverns of Luray. Yeah, it's low. It's super low humidity. That's what makes it very fire dangerous. That low humidity sucks all the moisture out of everything. Come here. Yes. No, I've not been to a Giants game. Yeah, I've been to a Giants game. Shit, I've been to 2 of them in Sacramento when the Giants were there taking on the A's. I don't think the Boston Janet were happy to see me in an A's outfit, but I gotta like who I gotta like. I love a young, scrappy team that's got no pitching and great hitting. Yeah, that's good. Good. Virginia is a beautiful state. I think it's gotten a little overpopulated. A lot of people moved to hell to Virginia. I used to like to hang. My brother was a weatherman at the Richmond on TV down there. Weekend weatherman. I'm always happy, babe. Did you happen to remember Todd Van People? You know, the name sounds familiar. You got to remember, Green, when I was in Hong Kong, that was the time that Nick Leeson brought down Baring Brothers Bank in the UK. I remember going to a private banker's luncheon with this guy. He seemed like he was under stress. I mean, I can usually make people laugh and shit, and he's just standing there looking, you know, like he's about to lose £1 billion, and he fucking did. It is overpopulated. Isn't that something, Megan Fox? You can be in a place, and as soon as you tell people about it, you're just signing your own. Some things you have to just keep to yourself. Yeah, he was very glum-faced. I'm laughing, you know. I'm like John Belushi in Animal House, you know, trying to cheer up Flounder, you know. And he's not buying it. He worked out at a Singapore office. I worked out of Hong Kong. Hong Kong, Shanghai, and Beijing. Anyway, I love Virginia. West Virginia is nice too. Winchester and Patsy Cline. Crazy, ooh, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. Ooh, yes, I'm crazy. Crazy for feeling so blue. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The good old Jordanaires backing them up. Face it, Flounder, you fucked up. I suggest you drink heavily here. D-Day. I don't even think this guy's enrolled. I had a guy like that when I was in junior year of college. He was in our apartment. I don't even know who the hell the guy was. Everybody just called him, hey man. I didn't know who the hell he was. Hey man. I don't know if the guy paid rent. I don't know where in the hell, you know, he's just there. I didn't know. You know, we were kind of before there was the don't ask, don't tell. I mean, that's the way it is. I stole college. Well, hui John Goi. Song Ijojo Inian Dao Ijojo Wunian will Jujai Shangang Songguo Shanghai Beijing Kaiser Bijab Futsal Jujai Shangan Hanmafang Chaiduoren Banting Buhao. I said from 1991 to 1995 I lived in China. It was hard to get used to at first, and then I worked deep inside of China. This was kind of after Tiananmen Square, and I always had a contingent of police. There were always tons of people with nothing to do in China. They would follow you around and write down little shit about what you're doing. There weren't any Westerners around. You'd stay at this third-rate kind of a hotel, kind of a hostel deal. 6 a.m. in the morning. Oh, wow. 6 a.m. every damn loudspeaker in the city of Beijing. And here comes Chairman Mao for the morning pep talk. Tongzhiman, Niman Hao, Zhao Shang Hao, Jintian Shi Xintian, Songguo Shi Qilaida. Good morning, comrades. Today it is a new day. China has stood up. I'm like, what's for breakfast? Yes, I speak Mandarin Chinese. I wouldn't have gotten a job otherwise. I mean, when your boss puts his hand on the map of China, like he's telling you just to open up the next territory in the next county, says, I want you to open up China. Like you're opening a box of Cracker Jack. I'm like, dude, you realize that's like 1.2 billion people, right? Yeah, I want you in there to get something going. Is there a problem? No. Oh yeah, I'm worldly, all right. I don't think few people have lived the life I've lived, which is good for them. Which is good for them. But I made a lot of tremendous friends there. You know, there's propaganda and then there's reality. There was a big difference between propaganda and reality. But Yorktown, Virginia, yeah, they were where the world turned upside down was played. How you doing, Alan Gentry? Please hit the thumbs up. Yeah, I think I applied to go to Virginia Tech. Well, I wasn't in the service, although people think I was in the CIA. Which I won't comment on. They're like, what person learns Chinese? And right after Tiananmen Square, one of the first white boys to go into China. Really? Make that make sense to me? Because I'm just a white boy. Yeah, the Hokies. What a great stadium down there, too. That's one of the great stadiums of the world to go into there. All is good, Alan. Thank you. We're just hanging out a little bit today. It's finally cooling off a tad. It's 95 degrees. Yeah, everything is there. It's been a good day today. Yeah, well, I'll just give you a spoiler. The CIA rejected me. I've been to the big house in Ann Arbor. Oh, wow. I'm not a stranger to being locked up. I remember the worst time was I was in Hong Kong, and there's it. It was like 1:30 in the morning. You know, my father-in-law opens the door. There's a fucking Hong Kong police there. These guys don't muck around. See your passport. They're looking at it. They see that China visa entry on my passport. It's like, what are you doing? What do you mean what I'm doing? What are you doing in China? Then I had those birds on me. You gotta understand, it was a really rough time after Tiananmen Square. That was it. Finally, after about 15 minutes, they take off, and they're just looking, they're talking, squawking in Cantonese, which I don't really understand. You know, they speak decent English. Was it Texas? Oh, complete dud. Yeah, it happens. I enjoy they have a pretty potent lineup. Kurt's, big Amish. I always assumed my room was bugged and had visual. I didn't really care. It was over there, I remember watching O.J. Simpson going down the freeway. Like, what the fuck is this cat doing? Yeah, the A's are playing a series in Las Vegas right now. Against the Brewers, they got another one coming up too. Okay, she just let her dog take a big dump. Alright, the guy's like, okay, he picked it up, that's nice. The guy's on shit pickup duty. That's nice. Yeah, you were too. Well, they didn't, you know, it was unusual for somebody to travel to China at that time, and they thought I might be exchanging information. Oh, you know, we heard you speak Chinese, and we're just going to be cautious, and okay. It was the way it was, man. It was intense times. You're walking across Tiananmen Square, and you're knowing what the hell went on here a couple years earlier. And everybody looks like they're shell-shocked around. They see a white person, they don't, you know, what the hell is that? They want to talk to you, but they look around, you know, it's like, it's... How you doing, Gene? That's just the way it was. Late 1995, I had enough. two think it was rejected. I got accepted to the FBI Academy, but I was already in. I had extreme proficiency on handguns. I passed the physical. Took all the examinations, but by the time they got back to me, it was 5 months later. I was already working overseas, and I wasn't going to take a 50% pay cut to come back and be initially assigned back in Baltimore, like the worst FBI place you could be. DEA wanted me. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do DEA. Guys are losing their heads or being cut off at that time. Maybe I might have bumped into him. Got Rosie on the road anyway. I spent a lot of time in Western China. Few people ever got out to Western China, working on oil and gas joint ventures with Royal Bank of Canada out of Calgary. You'd have 4 or 5 girls that would just follow you around. They were just gaga. Oh man, you got your pinstripe suit on, you're carrying your briefcase and your power tie on. Oh yeah. Those girls, I don't know any martial arts, just lifting a glass of beer. Every all FBI person, if they want you, you never know who you want. I don't know. I got tripped up on the lie detector test. I don't know what the hell it was. They just said, here's your hotel voucher, here's your meal voucher, thanks for coming in. I didn't really care. It was a job, I didn't give a shit. They test your cocktail party knowledge and how's your math and they test your memory. What the hell did I care? No, it wasn't ICE. I don't think I could join ICE tomorrow. There's no age limit anymore for hiring. As long as you can run a mile and a half in 14 minutes and 30 seconds, you're golden. It was adventurous. I mean, you're taking off from Hong Kong in some freaking Chinese plane. You're going down the runway. You aren't even in your seat yet. You haven't got your seatbelt on. You're trying to put your shit in the overhead bin. The guy's taking off at a 45-degree angle. Everybody's going to the back of the plane. Women with freaking chickens trying to stuff them into the overhead bin. It's like, what the hell? You're looking out the window. There's some kind of joy juice leaking from under the cowling of the engine. You don't know what the hell it is. You get into this little wretched airport, you light a cigarette, throw it on the ground, you got some little wizened old guy running up to you with a pad. He's writing you a ticket. Can't litter on the ground. Shit, man, look around at the town. The whole thing is a litter can. You pay your 5 cents US, there's your fine. That's it, man. That's it. I mean, you're not in Kansas anymore, bro. You know what I mean? At that point, you're like, how in the hell am I going to feed myself in this town? I don't know a damn person. Lucky my father-in-law had given me entrees to people. I didn't know it at that time, but his father was started one of the biggest chemical companies in China. How you doing, Kelly? Yeah, that was Brittany Griner or whatever. It's people that want to smoke weed or I don't know. You could smoke cigarettes and drink all the beer and all the booze you wanted to drink. Nobody cared, but if you had weed there, oh no, man. They probably would have held you for 30 days and then extradited your ass out. They don't want to feed you there. Just eating dinner. My friend Pat calls me a dumbass, rude, eh? Like they tell me, Kelly, if the shoe fits, wear it. What am I supposed to make about that? I'm writing a book about it now. My second book. It's almost like my personal memoirs and my life story. Well, it's, you know, Kelly, I had a manager from New Jersey, right? That wore suspenders like something out of Goodfellas. Every cursing and, you know, okay, you know, we're professionals, right? I don't know. I've never been a weed smoker. I can't really weigh in on it. I don't know what this, I don't know. I used the gummies when I had my fractured rib. Not my most glorious moments. Yeah. All you have to do is watch the movie Midnight Express. Well, if you've ever seen the movie Midnight Express about the guy that got caught in Turkey boarding a plane with, you know, 10 kilograms of hashish or something. William Hayes. He enjoyed the accommodations for 10 years or whatever. See, you know, in those countries at that time, they didn't give a shit. They just put everybody into an old big house and that was put a fence around it. There's your place. You'd have to fight each other. People be stealing your shit. There was no individual cells and shit. You look at the Madagascar prison, you better hope to hell you never end up there. You end up being imprisoned in a poor country, brother, you better like rats, rice. What was the third one they told me? I don't know. Rats, rice, and regularity. That was it. No, you just, the poorer the country, the worse. I mean, look at Madagascar's prisons on YouTube. Good Lord. Same food every day, every meal. If you want other stuff, your family's got to bring it in. Well, I don't have a family. Well, then you're just going to be eating, you know, this weird looking cucumber thing every day. I'm going to lose a lot of weight. Yeah, you're probably going to die of starvation in here. It's like when I did the video about the Tijuana lockup down there. Guy's up on the tower looking down. The thumbnail says he's waiting for you. Look that up. The Tijuana jail. I'd always heard these stories about people being locked up in Tijuana. I decided to go take a look for myself. So here we are in the Tijuana jail. You know, go to Mongolia with drugs. They'll slice your nuts open for dinner and roast them in front of you. Third world nations. People that went fishing charter and caught drugs. Yeah, that's pretty weird. Never happened to me on my charter boat fishing. I used to go all the time, but it got too expensive. I'm not going to pay $200+ for 10 crabs and 10 rockfish. So here we are at the Tijuana jail. Turkey and Russia are like that. Remember the Germans fought with Turkey in World War I. And all the Turks sent coal miners over to Germany. All of a sudden they're spelling Turkey different than we did. Now they have Turkaya or something, whatever the hell that is. I do have a lot of anecdotes because I'm going to be 68 years old in a couple weeks. I've led a hell of a life, Mark. I don't think there's many people that can equal the life I've had. Hell of a lot of ways, and it's still going on. Oh, that sun is hot today, boy. Colorful life. Well, you know what I found out? This is going to absolutely blow your mind. Guess who went to the same junior high school I did? PS 233. This is going to absolutely, you can look it up yourself. You in a million years could never guess. I could not believe it when I heard it. I had to be like, oh, hell no, no, no. Come on, honey, are you going to cross or not? Hello, everybody. No, it was actually Tupac. I could not believe that Tupac went to the same school I went to, PS 233 in Baltimore. You can look it up. How's that for interesting? Isn't that crazy? I think he was born in New Jersey and raised in Baltimore. I couldn't even believe it. I mean, who else can say that, man? Hey, Angus. Imagine going to the same school, or Tupac going to the same school as me. Who in the hell would believe it? PS 233. School was like something out of Hey Arnold. We never really called schools names. It was just PS and then a number. Oh man, where do you go to school? I'm at 233. Oh, that's a shithole, man. Isn't that amazing, Scottish? I could not believe it. Imagine that, going to the same damn school as Tupac. Shit, I went to where he got gunned down on Cobalt and Flamingo Road. I tell people we went to the same school, they'd be like, what the? Younger than me. You know, I think it's amazing. Of all the coincidences in the world, that's the last guy I ever would have picked. Evidently, he was quite talented. He performed a lot around Baltimore. I felt important. Like that sun shining down, but that's why I always got a phone that has a white back to it. White is relatively rare on phones, but I chose it on purpose. So here we are in the Tijuana jail. Ain't got no bail. Yeah, I got a picture of the guy on the guard tower looking over the wall. My thumbnail caption was, "He's waiting for you." Oh shit. I always like to do the offbeat tourism shit. guys would laugh your ass off at a lot of stuff that's in my playlist and my channel. So yeah, I mean, I never would have figured that Tupac and I had that in common. Old shitty old school. Oh, you know, you still smell the smell of that old 1920s truck. Just big ass oak doors. Everybody had a scowl on their face. About the only thing I enjoyed was woodshop. I had to sit through that wretched typing class with Miss Pamela T. Jackson. Put your fingers on the home key. What 14-year-old boy wants to take typing? I don't know if I failed. They said that's it. I said, did I pass? They said no. I don't know. I didn't really care that much. I mean, for 2 days they sat you in an auditorium and they told you all the shit that was going to go wrong. You're just starting out. You know, you're going to be in a shithole country somewhere. Nobody's going to say you're there. There'll be nothing. I thought to myself, shit, I want to be somebody, you know? No, they'll just be, if you die, there'll just be a star on the wall. That's it. That's what all those stars are on the wall when you walk into the headquarters. Okay, whatever. I'm like, what the serious hell? That does not sound very Rosie-O'Kelly-ish to be like a nobody. Yeah, if you're over there, we disavow any knowledge of you. So I didn't really care that much. They spent 2 days scaring the shit out of you. I'm the kind of person, I gotta be somebody, man. Something happens to me, shit, I want it to be front page news. Star on the wall, are you shitting me? Star on the wall. Hey, I'm a superstar. I'm gonna be on no damn star on the wall. Somewhere over in Chad or Fort LeMay, Chad. Like dysentery, malaria. National Police, yeah, that sounds fun. Sign me up, babe. Put me in, coach, I'm ready to play. So I didn't really care. State Department too down at American University, but that was just all about cocktail party knowledge and shit. That was too boring. Sit there all day and process business and crap. Hear everybody's tale of woe. I don't got patience for that crap. So the phone is right in the heat right now. Right in the sun, it's doing okay. It's still taking a charge. It's got a little more thermal capability than the old S10 Plus. Because heat is always the enemy. especially when you're live streaming. Okay, so the cock robin folded up down here. Now it's another burger joint. I don't see anybody sitting outside tonight. I might have a shot tonight. I feel like I kind of earned it today. That California sun is vicious in the afternoon. I was going to go crabbing tomorrow, but the winds are going to be fierce. Gale warnings. I think I can park right here, right in the commercial parking. Now let's get a little closer. I got a whiz. It's young lovers. Young lovers. All right, guys, stand by. I'm going to whiz for a minute. All right. Before we take off. Oh, shit. The hell was that? Damn, I'm always dropping something. Stand by. Paul Harvey, news and commentary. Brought to you by True Value Hardware. In case you're wondering, I'll have the video with the boss and Janet with the tremendous tomahawk steaks tomorrow when we went to get a big pot. Oh boy, that's hot, man. Wowee. That's hot. That is hot. Let's see, what's our battery level? All right, let's do this. Let's put our cooler on here. We're gonna just have to wing it. Hello, Amanda. Hug and kiss. Oh, we're gonna have to get something set up before we go to Vegas, boys. We are gonna be frying monkeys down there. Yeah, my phone is damn hot. But it's still taking a charge, so the thermal capabilities. If I had my old S10, it would have crapped out by now. If we do get cut off, let's head over for the shade a bit. It's pretty good that I'm still charging. I don't have AC in the van. I don't really care. I don't really value AC that much anyway. Yeah, I got some stuff coming up tomorrow, Elmer. Yeah, this holder is going to be absolutely no good for. Have to go back to the other one. All these people leave their shit here. Yeah, it's nice. It's about 95 here, 90, 95, but there's no humidity. Tomorrow's going to be hotter. Whoa! It's a hot breeze blowing. Elmer, that's for you, my East German friend. Das is for you. Das Verdanya. Deutsche Sprachlehrer für Amerikaner. They have the hot dog place here, which is pretty cool that a place still sells hot dogs and the people don't burn it down because of health reasons. I really got screwed at Kinko's printing out my manuscript, 370 pages. Yeah, here's the hot dog place. Snap dog, $7.50. Polish, $8.50. Chili dog. You don't know what the hell the hours are. John Kennedy. No, I'm still going the traditional, trying to get an agent. If I don't, it's print on demand. You take a pre-order. And I feel confident I should have about 500 pre-orders or so if I self-publish. As much as I've talked about this thing. It's all ready to go now. perfect manuscript form with appendix and figures and 17 charts in the back. It's almost like it's really PhD level work, but more readable. 100 plus citations. I don't say anything unless it's proven. Damn, it is hot today. It's Hong Kong hot, baby. I'll go up the shady side.
Wait to cross North Main Street at 16th Street. Wait.
I'll just try one last time. My manuscript wasn't really in shape last time compared to the way it is now. Let's see if this sad place, everything's dead here. There's nobody to water it. What a tragedy. They took all the shit down. What the hell is she doing, man? $2,000. Look at this, man. They took everything out. Look at this, Elmer. This is what happens when people just can't keep their hands off each other. It's better to just have your bird cut off, I guess. Better just slice it off. Elmer's probably 95 here. I don't know what the hell she dropped all that crap off for. Unless she's having a class upstairs. Man, this place is really depleted. I don't know whether she's coming back or not. I better not go pawing through the bags as much as I want to. There's ostrich feathers bags. I don't know what they're going to do with the Rite Aids. I don't know. Let's go violate some people's privacy. Oh, it is? This person had bitched about their mold in there. That's one way to break a lease. I want to get back to doing breakfast reviews. What the hell is going on? There goes the ambulance. $25 for chicken and waffles. Hiking boys. Man, look at all the desks there for interior design. what I should do, is teach songwriting. I should be a lyricist. That's Dr. Frankenstein's two dachshunds. I believe that's their names.
The one before that. What happened with
If the Fed funds rate is below the 3-6-month bill rate, the Fed has to raise rates. The market signaling rate's got to go higher. When it drops below it, that's a signal you can cut rates. Right now, the market is saying raise rates, but not because of inflation. look at that old, there's a Yamaha. There's a nice unit. CR 820. Not sure what that means, green now trading. I thrive in Hong Kong when it's 123.
Wait. Vega Avenue. Walk sign is on the cross. Vega Avenue.
I'd rather have heat than cold. I'm not a lib, I'm an independent.
After our meeting this morning, I got back to normal after work.
I can smell that. I can smell that punk burning. Oh, I don't think it'll ever be in this town. Are you kidding me? This town would put my head on a pike. They'd have a lot to say about it, though. You believe that? A lot to say. Might make it into Copperfield books. I don't know, but it'll be a struggle. It would be definitely a struggle. It will not be welcome everywhere. what was it Elon Musk said? The more you're over the target, the more flack you get. What if they're going to ever open this place again over here? Well, that's been forever. What is it? Bag. Balmy bag? Bone bag? I don't know what it is. Sounds like some music up here. Sounds like a party. Maybe we'll get a beer. Hey Vincent, yep, nice hot day. It's summertime. Man, that sun just doesn't quit in California. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up button. Good old Topeka, the only place on I-70 they collect a toll. Smells like somebody's got a fallen bladder. I don't know what it is. Smells like somebody's got a fallen bladder. See what's shaking over here. Man, it took forever to get back here.
Single blues, and we walk on back, knock down shack on the edge of town. Hot beach combos just won't quit, they were logging to see. Tonight there, falling out. Yes, it's like a house, it's a good life to do. It's fire, brothers, barbecue grill, tree to the tree, you know the words. Share those fighting beats, spread the rest of your price. At the house do light, yeah. How's everybody doing? All right? So that's the Paul. All right. Thank y'all very much. We're Rich Rosa, the Rockin' Indians. It's been a ball. Stay tuned for the other bits, and we'll see y'all later.
Mitch Woods, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed one of our legends here. You're old enough to be a legend now, Nick, so give it up for Mitch Woods and his Rocket 88. The guy makes him sing, so and thank you for all coming out here on this hot day, but you can see it's kind of cooling down like it always does right here. So enjoy yourself.
The only town I ever feel young in.
Wine back there, courtesy of winery. And enjoy yourself. Mitch owns it, and you just make it to see you.
How many places you'll go, you'll feel young. This will be it. You got to get tokens to beer.
Whatever.
Can I get a bill slip, please? Yeah, that's a big beer.
And
do you have non-alcoholic beer?
I don't think so. This one.
Is this afraid of alcohol? No. We don't have going on and on.
Yeah. How you doing, boss? Thank you.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Here we go.
Let's go. I get one free lollipop.
It's too okay. Thank you, boss. Thank you for your understanding. You don't want me to start crying here. Hot monkey. Hot monk.
You don't get free roaming privileges. All right. Well,
No, you're not going to get any free samples here. Meyer lemon, $4. Looks a little rough finger. It looks a little rough finger. I'm opposed to spending $7 on an IPA. Yeah, of course, yeah.
I'm like, I'm right behind you. Right behind you. I almost left him when I was working on
Look at their cannibal ducks and we can't stop it. You guys shut up, we're gonna get kicked out of here.
I wish it was, Elmer.
Have you ever seen him?
All right, I'm pretty much saturated back here. This is the only crowd I'll ever be in that I feel young. I do the lemonade, but it looks a little rough finger.
This is their pilsner.
Actually, I haven't seen him painted the calla lilies. Maybe we'll see you up front.
Yeah, I'll probably be lurking around somewhere. I got I was pretty much saturated. Not much variety back there.
What's the matter, huh?
Vincent, I am saturated, dude. Saturated. Yeah, one night we're going to do the taco challenge on Sebastopol Road. I'll probably record. Here you'll see some of the, I got water back at the van. You got some of the weirdest sculpture you're ever going to see. if you don't nut yourself on this path. I don't know what the hell this is. This weird looking thing. It's like the get portal to hell or something. You never know what the hell you're going to find in this town. The demon lies heavy here. I should get the place rolling with ghost riders in the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, Rosieokelly. Let's give it up. Yeah, I should. My ghost riders have the whole place stomping. The old cowboy went riding out one dark and dusty day. Yeah. Do 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 do. Do 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 ding ding. Boo doo boo. Signal's fair. Let's clean it up. Yay! Yippee-i-oh! This is where this lesbian couple nailed me down here. What are you doing? What are you videoing? My wife and I don't like it. I don't care for IPAs. It's always some piss water they kick at real quick from brewing. Boy, I'll tell you what, Dr. Frankenstein, you better refresh your connection. You're about 10 minutes behind. Yeah, I feel young in there. It's not many towns. This one you'll definitely feel young in. Petaluma, you'll feel old as hell. You can smell that punk in there. Imagine smelling that all day.
I think it's like last week. I saw it open.
Yeah, I'm at the tail end of it, Brett. That's for darn sure. I am at the tail end. I'm a baby boomer. Hey Tara, hey Shemaine.
Wait, 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 wait,
Oof.
wait, wait. Wait.
I'll be 68 in a couple weeks.
Wait.
68 gone on 28. Amanda Hug and Kiss will tell you I'm still a hellraiser.
Wait.
I don't know what the hell we're going to do about the cooler. We're going to have to definitely use the other holder.
Bodega Avenue.
I have no idea, Scottish. It's all Greek to me, babe. Spreading my seed. Sounds like fun.
stuffing it. He's all, it's just for me. Look, I see.
They just don't have a place here with a deck for beer. Like normal people's beer. Silk Moon. It's the kind of night you wish you had an ice cream. And you don't hear me say that too often. I think you guys would freak out if you saw me with an ice cream. What's up, NH? Yeah, pretty adverse to paying $6 for a scoop. Oh wow, Shemaine, that's amazing. Shit, I wish somebody do that for me. Elmer, keep your drawers on. Oh man, toasted coconut. Holy crap, dude. Even just a snow white coconut would be delicious. That would be delectable. Oh, we got Scottish Theron in the house tonight. It's nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Man, that sounds really good. Roll out of here. I got a beer out there somewhere with my name on it. Skip the peanuts tonight. King falafel. Feed that girl some. Better give that girl something to eat. Nobody want no skinny chick. brown starfish. Phone's pretty crispy around the edges. What we're gonna do, we gotta find that other cooler. There's not much ever going on at those little Wednesday evening things. Yeah, thumbs up are appreciated. Angus, Kiss is good to see you. Oh my God, 91 degrees. Yeah, it's pretty nice out here. I don't think we got mail today. You never know on the old Alpine route. You just never know. Hope you all saw the fence, part 2 of the fence build. That's the way people should be. Spotters, especially when you're older. Not that you are, but little kindness goes a long way. Rancho is looking fine. Gave the good truck a good workout yesterday. I will have the video up of yesterday's adventure. I think you'll enjoy that with the boss and Janet's. Check real quick, see if we got mail. I don't think we did today. All right, let's get on the stick. It's still kind of crispy at the edges, I'll tell you. Live streaming really does the heat. Hey, Jack girl, how are you? Oh. No way we're going to be able to live stream with this holder. Driving a heat wave. All right. You guys got to wait a bit out there for your blackbird to come. Look at this one all stretched out. All righty. Oh boy. It is brew time. Brewtaloo. We're gonna have to heat situation. We're gonna have to get that good and test it through. That's for darn sure. We're gonna have to get that baby really tested through. Here comes Dr. Frankenstein's favorite part of the day. Damn, that fell right out, didn't it? Oh. With Dennis Feinstein.
For the Trump administration's expansion of immigration detention, the private for-profit prison company operated roughly 6,000 immigration detention beds. Today, Geo Group says that number is roughly 21,000, housing nearly 1/3 of all people detained by ICE nationwide. Here's Geo Group founder and executive chairman George Zoli speaking to shareholders during the company's latest earnings call.
Our better-than-expected performance reflects significant revenue growth from the contracts that we entered into throughout 2025. As we have previously discussed, in 2025, we were awarded new or expanded contracts that represent up to approximately $520 million in new incremental revenues, which represents the largest amount of...
Where's Dr. Frankenstein? This is his time of day.
According to the
This
company's
is it right
financial
here.
report, GEO's revenues increased 17% to over $700 million this year alone, while its net income climbed to 96%. As profits climb and concerns grow
Stuff
over
to the
ICE's
mailbox.
expanding footprint in California, Will Preston
Pass
warns that
back in
additional
it.
operations are likely to follow.
Is there a real concern?
Well, Chris Pratt had a shot.
Foreshadows that there will be
And then that socialist caught up to him. People get the representation that they want.
I think we have seen
That's for sure.
infrastructure for this kind is built. It signals
That's
that
for
there's
sure.
going to be an immediate
Cheers, everybody.
detentions and all kinds of different ICE activity. So a big part of what the community
Palisades, Altadena, Malibu.
not just the construction of the facility, but the fact that we could see more ICE presence, more disruption in our economy, more disruption in our education system, more disruption in our society, being able to operate with a common, basic sense of security and safety. And being able to push back
Dr.
on this
Frankenstein,
facility,
do you
I think, is
remember when I
great.
took the
And
drive-through Malibu?
demonstrate
I used the old press pass
our community more broadly
and got to go up the highway.
in solidarity with
It was pretty amazing.
Santa Clara County officials say additional legal challenges may be forthcoming. Today's filing marks California's 71st lawsuit against the Trump administration since the president returned to office in 2010.
All right, we'll have a few peanuts.
It
It is what it is, Dr. Frankenstein.
Detained at the Adelanto ICE Processing Center in Desert View Annex. In New Jersey, more than 300 people detained at Delaney Hall began a hunger strike on May 22nd.
Yeah, I know, it's
While
terrible.
state and county officials fight in court
There's a
to stop
fight about
construction
what kind of
the new
housing there
facility,
should be.
Detainees inside existing ones are demanding
You can no
bonds
longer
for
say restore it the way it
conditions,
was.
adequate medical and mental health
I
care,
knew they'd go in there. I knew they'd demand radical changes.
and the right to organize.
Looks like they dreamed of this.
I'm Lauren Schmidt.
A federal judge has rejected a government watchdog's request to temporarily block the Trump administration from forging ahead with a new near $1.8
You knew that was
billion
coming.
anti-weaponization fund to compensate Trump allies who claim to be victims of government overreach and malfeasance. The judge ended a hearing by warning President Trump's administration, though, not to play possum with the court. District Judge Richard Leon ruled from the bench in favor of the Trump administration, which argued
Yeah, I
the
told you,
watchdog's
when the
lawsuit
day it
against
burned down,
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche
2 days later I said, you know what?
the government is scrapping
It's not going to be easy, this rebuild. Number one, they were tired of people fighting to be able to get to the beach between houses.
Responsibility and ethics in Washington for a preliminary injunction that would block payouts from the fund
Now,
on a more permanent basis. A different federal judge in
who knows
Alexandria,
what they're going to
Virginia,
do?
already has temporarily blocked the fund's operations. That order by District Judge Leone
That's it, Elmer.
is due to expire Friday this week unless she extends it after hearing on the same day. The administration created the fund last month to resolve Trump's lawsuit against the Internal Revenue Service over the leak of his tax returns. The DOJ hasn't formed a 5-member commission that is to decide on payout criteria.
Well,
for the
I heard
fund.
Chris
There's been no
Pratt
money
run a
paid out nor claims
good
accepted.
campaign.
The fund has generated a fierce bipartisan backlash. Even many of the Republican president's allies are opposing the compensating those who stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th of 2021. During his congressional testimony, Blanche wouldn't rule out the possibility those who assaulted police at the Capitol could be eligible for fund payouts. Meanwhile, more lawsuits are playing out. A federal judge in Florida overseeing Trump's lawsuit against the IRS ordered Trump's attorneys to respond to grievous allegations by settlement critics that the president abandoned his claim to avoid the court's scrutiny of an illegal deal. District Judge Kathleen Williams gave them until Friday
People love
to
who they
respond
love out
to
here.
allegations of collusion and whether the case should be reopened because the court was the victim of a fraud. In Virginia, attorneys for the legal advocacy group Democracy
Kind of ridiculous,
Forward
isn't it?
are
It's
seeking
almost
a
like
court order halting the funding
it's almost like they wear it as a point of pride out here.
from dispersing any payouts from it. The plaintiffs in that case
They love the
include a
power
retired
trip.
prosecutor and a college professor acquitted of assaulting federal agents at a protest. Microsoft
Oh, wow,
founder
Jag
Bill
Girl.
Gates testified before the House Oversight Committee investigating the late pedophile and
There you go,
intelligence
Angus.
asset
This
Jeffrey
is
Epstein and the government's role. Gates is in the Epstein files. Epstein claimed Gates sought his advice on how to slip Gates' wife an STD medication after he supposedly contracted an STD during an affair. Gates issued a short statement to the press before heading into the chamber today.
Nice, give your wife an STD.
Testify to help with the committee's work. I'll start with an opening statement in the hearing room. I hope my testimony is helpful to the important work of the committee to find justice for the victims.
During testimony, Gates said he made an error in judgment by ever meeting with Epstein. Gates said he should never have met with him, but that he never had any indication that Epstein was engaged in criminal activity or saw any abuse. That was
Who in the hell knew about this guy?
Emily Randall, a Washington Democrat on the committee who spoke to reporters.
Who in the hell knew about this guy?
I think some of his answers show us that many of the men who engaged with Jeffrey Epstein only saw what they wanted to see in their interactions. You know, they didn't, Mr. Gates has said that he didn't see any abuse, and we know that some of the women who were present working for Mr. Epstein, who were at meetings, who were on planes, were being trafficked and being abused. Maybe not in front of Mr. Gates' eyes, not in front of the eyes of many people, but
Man, that whole Epstein thing was really something.
Except
I'll tell you.
now know what's happening.
California Democrat Robert Garcia of Long Beach called it a horrific lapse in Gates' judgment.
Mr. Gates was aware that Jeffrey Epstein had been convicted, and
They're still talking about it.
continued to interact with
They had Bill Gates in there today.
I think that obviously I think we would agree
Talking about how to slip his wife a STD medication.
was something that somebody should be doing, and that's something I think that Mr. Gates has to atone for.
Gates is mentioned more than 2,600 times in the Epstein files released by the Justice Department.
2016 times.
Epstein was federally indicted in 2019.
He was mentioned 2016 times.
A conspiracy to commit sex trafficking of minors. The Justice Department alleged Epstein formed a vast network of girls, some as young as 14, for him to sexually abuse between 2002 and 2005. He died in a New York jail cell in 2019 while awaiting trial. Gates is the latest powerful figure linked to Epstein to testify before
I was like,
House
it'd be
Oversight
easier to say
Committee
who
Chair
wasn't
James
there.
Comer, a Kentucky Republican, says he will ask former Epstein attorney Alan Dershowitz to testify next. Comer made
I mean, who in the hell wasn't there?
with Epstein's former secretary, Leslie Groff, who testified Tuesday.
I don't know. I just don't know. You know, I never knew what it was going on. I never followed it. I just marveled, like, geez, this guy really got around, you know? I mean, shit.
This after former Attorney General
Everybody was at Epstein Island.
Committee late last month that Blanche was the one who oversaw release of a trove of government files on Jeffrey Epstein. The release of the files has been met with scrutiny and condemnation after redactions were made of possible co-conspirators of sexual abuse, while some victims were unredacted. Some of the files
Is that Jizz Bag Maxwell? Is she going on Jizz Lane or whatever the hell is Jizz? Whatever her name was.
Governor will pit a Democrat against a Republican. Democrat Javier Becerra, a former state attorney general and health secretary.
I haven't followed it. I mean, to me, it looked like a boring kind of schlep. But I guess money talks. I don't know. He must have been a hell of a party boy.
President Donald Trump has won enough votes to advance to the general election and will go against Becerra. He cinched about 25% of the vote. The Associated Press determined Hilton will be the second person on the November ballot Tuesday. The winner will succeed Democratic Governor
thank
Gavin
you.
Newsom to lead the state. It's home to roughly 39 million people. Hollywood, a booming tech industry, a vast farming region that helps feed the nation. By itself, California represents one of the largest economies in the world. But it's still with its challenges. The next governor will have to take on stubborn issues, including a high cost of living, housing shortages, and homelessness.
Man, it's like you hear that every election.
4 states held
The same
primaries
thing, three
Tuesday.
things.
Nevada, North
It's like a
Dakota,
broken
Maine,
record.
and South Carolina all held high-stakes contests. In Maine, Republican incumbent Senator
Yeah, where's that
Susan
Maxwell? I don't know. Isn't she supposed to go to trial or
both won their
something?
party's nomination and
Or has she already been sentenced? I don't know.
farmer fighting to rebuild
I
his
was never that
reputation.
interested, Jack, girl, to tell you the truth.
Controversy around sending lewd photos to women. He's had little political experience, but a progressive populist campaign has drawn hundreds to rallies around the state. Since entering the race, Plattner has stressed the importance of believing in redemption.
She's already in
for
prison.
those
What
like
did she
him
admit
who
anything,
said
Dr.
made
Frankenstein?
mistakes but are now
What kind of
working to
sentence
be
did you
better
get?
people. He spoke to his campaign Tuesday night.
The political establishment, they keep looking for that one story, that one headline, that one moment in my life that they can define the campaign by. But in trying so hard to understand me, they fail to understand that this is not about me at all.
How long is she locked up for?
This is a movement about us.
Democrats see Maine as a top opportunity to flip a GOP-held seat. Today, President
Probably
Donald
not
Trump
long
called
enough.
Plattner a
20
thug
years,
and a
wow.
cheap, no-good
Did she
person.
admit
He
anything?
also
Or
called Democrats, Democrats.
This guy's got a rap sheet. I've never seen anything like it. He's a thug. I know thugs. I had to deal with thugs. I built a lot of buildings. I dealt with the toughest people on earth. I dealt with worse than thugs. This guy's a thug. He's a low-level thug. And he's running to be a senator.
Trump also called Plattner fake and phony. The president mentioned the numerous accusations
guy never pulls any
against Plattner
punches.
and wondered what would happen
Jeez.
if Republicans had a candidate like that. Though Trump himself has faced numerous accusations about his past treatment of women, including being found liable for sexual abuse in court. He's also disparaged women publicly. Most recent, just the other day, playing an
I
NBC
think she
reporter,
cooperated.
stupid.
Okay.
The president has also endorsed
Wow,
Senate
that must have been
House
some kind of
campaigns.
testimony.
A Texas Republican with a checkered public past.
How about Bill Gates slipping his wife anti-STD medicine?
Democrats for fixating on Epstein while still backing Plattner. Elsewhere, Democrats
pretty
hope to
wild.
build momentum in Nevada, South Carolina, in their broader push to reclaim
That is
key
pretty
governor's
wild.
seats. President Trump is inventing fraud in California's primary elections and likely to ramp up unfounded allegations as more races fail to go his way. That's according to Common Cause, a pro-democracy watchdog based in Washington, D.C. To learn more about the president's baseless claims and how voters can combat election
Cooperated. That must have been a
disinformation,
hell of a
KFA's
testimony.
Lauren Schmidt spoke with
That must have been a hell of a testimony, I'll tell you.
Policy and litigation
Wow.
at Common Cause.
You were recently featured in a Guardian article and were quoted saying that Donald Trump is inventing fraud. So I'm hoping you can share a little bit from your vantage point what is unfolding in regards to California election, if there is how you see federal government rhetoric towards the election system.
Well, Donald Trump is using his tool, which is when he doesn't like the election results, he without any evidence.
My garden's doing pretty good. I should be in a mariachi band. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. All right, guys. I'm going to crank it down. It's almost a good 4 hours here tonight. Thank you very much for being here. If you've not hit that thumbs up button, tomorrow I will be rolling a video, Buying Pot with the Boss and Janet. Make sure you check it out. Yes, somebody had to buy the pot. I did. Make sure to check it out. You got a little bit of a preview. Hey, Tim. A little bit of a preview with the tomahawk steak. Thank you very much, everybody. Moderators, Shimei, Scottish Sarah, Ronnie. I don't know if we saw Judy tonight. Thank you very much for everything you do. I so appreciate you. Yeah, your visit was short and sweet tonight. Yeah, I got on the way about 3 o'clock, so thank you, everybody.